Meeting of the City of Washington Parks and Recreation Commission, the roll call.
Bob Zirk, John Freitag, Bob Kleppel,
Here.
Kevin Creedy,
Here.
Tessie Steffens,
Here.
Sparky Stuckenschneider,
Here.
Jeannie Miller-Wood, Dave Waymeyer, Betty Werner, Gavin Woolley,
Here.
Al Bear,
Here.
Jeff Packey.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes from our January 10th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll
If
second.
Nobody has a correction?
Okay.
And I'll second that.
Okay, a motion by Gavin, seconded by Tessie. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Your report, Wayne.
I'll go through a number of things here, but recently, I guess last Friday, Robin held a very lovely daddy-daughter event out at the auditorium. Had 75-ish couples, I guess, probably a few more. About 150 people or so attend that, so it was good. Good program, nicely decorated, something I know the kids and the dads look forward to. Lafayette Plaza Park update. Recently, last week, 2 weeks ago, had a meeting with some of the garden club ladies. And then I'm presenting along with myself and Josh Wargo and Dave Waymeyer at their lunch meeting on the 21st, landscaping plan for the park. And as of now, from the first meeting we just had last week, we heard all very positive comments about it, so that's good. And so we need to get the plan set so we can get plants in the ground when the time is right and get everything going there. So moving along with that, KJU is supposed to seal that concrete sidewalk here possibly this week, I think, but soon. So moving along there. The Riverfront Trail Connection RFQ is out, and I finally got State Parks responded to one of my emails on some information I needed. That is out. It's on the city website. We're looking for a design firm for that, so we can get going on that. Memorial tree deadline is actually tomorrow, the 15th, and I think so far we've sold 3 trees, and we already have 2 of the 3, I think, memorial rocks down there in our office where they went out to Washington Monument themselves, purchased whatever plaque, whatever they wanted on the rock, and then brought the rock to us so we can install it when the tree is planted. Crew has been trimming trees and grass trimming, been spending a lot of time working on doing the site grading on the sand plant gravel lot down there, which bids are due back for that, I think, this Friday. Engineering put those out to have that lot, it'd be that lot asphalted, and then the lower boat trailer lot resurfaced, asphalted there, and then some other minor asphalting that the city needed to be done. They packaged it all together to get some good bids. And street department's installing conduit before it's asphalted for future lights down there. And then we'll have some curbing that's also going to be done by a contractor that engineering put out the bid for some islands to put in there. So things are moving along slowly but surely down there. Been doing some pool building maintenance, getting things ready, starting to think about pool season. And then street department has been doing this project or helping us out with this project, pouring over there at 5th Street at Strieger, behind the baseball field, Washington High baseball field, the new field, doing the rest of that trail connection, running the trail out to 5th Street. And the final part of that piece, the majority of the concrete's poured there. There's a section right next to the street that's not poured that will have the the turnaround with the light post in it like we have down here at A Street and Jefferson. that will be there, and a contractor is doing the light post and everything down there. So that's being contracted out by engineering. We are hiring for one part, maintenance worker one. I had a job, had an interview yesterday with a guy that was qualified, and then had an interview with someone that was very qualified from a neighboring city, but changed his mind at the last minute. So continue looking for applicants and see where that goes. Any questions?
Is that full-time or?
Full-time.
And are you advertising for seasonal?
You didn't see all the flyers on the door when you walked in?
No, he was busy calling you.
Yeah.
I was reading them.
Busy trying to get in.
Cursed me, yeah, cursing me under his breath, I'm sure. Yes, we're hiring for pool staff, admission people, concessions, day camp. I'm happy to report, I didn't think this was gonna happen, actually. Our old intern from last year, Logan, you probably all remember him from New Haven, he's actually coming back this year. He just emailed me like yesterday, and, because we were getting ready to put out the advertising for a new intern. And I talked to him at Christmas, and he's like, yeah, I'll get a hold of you if I can work, but it didn't sound like he was gonna be able to. And looks like things are gonna align properly, which we'll be able to use him. I'll be able to use him a lot with the upcoming park master plan and doing research and documents and all kinds of stuff with that. So it'll be a good summer for him to be here.
Because I thought I had seen at the kiosk going into Miller Post, maintenance, part-time maintenance.
Yeah, also, I didn't mention that yet, but yes, our seasonal, part-time, summer guys, if we can get some. Last year, we didn't have any, so. But we're hoping we can get some.
Do we know why the guy changed his mind? The guy you said was really qualified?
No, he just sent me an email. The interview was supposed to be at 4 o'clock yesterday, and I got an email like 1 just saying he was withdrawing his name from,
Oh, okay.
he would have been overqualified for the job, so I was kind of wondering what was going on there. But it would have been nice to have if it worked out. Any other questions?
Communications from the audience? No. Okay. Old business, plastic bag recycling.
So I'm happy to report we are up to 800 and, she told me yesterday. Yeah, like 878 pounds in like a month and a half. So we're well on our way to 2 benches. It's been, I was telling whoever was here before the meeting that wasn't locked outside. And I'd sent an email, someone else, I don't know if you all were copied on it or not, but Tessie and Betty had sent an email about continuing it after we get our 2 benches or whatever. And I mean, I would like, first of all, I think it's great, it's a good idea, but it's becoming rather overwhelming for us at times. Tina is our permanent part-time person, Tina is in charge of it. And I have to help her out with it. I got a complaint from the library director, which I don't blame him at all, because I see it firsthand on Monday mornings. So we hadn't been checking it. Tina will check it Friday morning, like she normally does every morning. And it doesn't get checked from like Friday, we'll say Friday at noon till Monday morning. When I come in Monday morning, it's like half their lobby is full of plastic bags. It looks really bad. I think I sent a picture out maybe to you all recently. And so the library director asked if there was a way that someone could pick them up over the weekend. So I have Billy Moore, our weekend guy, full-time weekend guy. I asked him to stop by the library Saturday and Sunday, and if there's anything, if the barrels are full and anything outside the barrels, we gave him some bags to put them in consolidate them into bags, and then take them and put them in the library storage area. And then I go on Monday morning over there, so Tina doesn't, I feel bad, because there's so many usually. I try to help her out if I remember on Monday morning and bring them over here, and then she weighs them, and then we only have enough room in our maintenance closet here for about 2 days max of bags without Bill, our full-time maintenance guy, cursing me. And so she's pretty much taking them to Schnucks almost, especially at the beginning of the week, almost on an everyday basis. She'll weigh them and then take them straight to Schnucks to get rid of them. And then that lady there, I think, is getting overwhelmed because she keeps, where are you getting all these bags from? So anyways, very good thing. I don't know, like the Y had reached out, and I don't know where this went or not, where, with our staff, I haven't asked, but the Y was wanting a container, and we were gonna have to try to figure out how we were gonna get the bags from the Y to the shop to here. And I don't know if that ever materialized or not, but, you know, maybe the Y does this and gets a couple benches, and then maybe a local school does and gets a couple benches, and we kind of keep passing the torch that way. Just an idea. But you can always, Schnucks always has a container out there, Walmart has one, and I saw one even at Dick's the other day, at their store, so.
Would it help to have, you know, additional containers, you know, even?
Well,
if
we
it's-
ordered 3 more, but they never came.
Like even, you
She
know,
never got a response.
even, you know, like a trash can or.
Well, I did, we have 3 cans at the library now. We started with 1, and then I took 2 trash cans that we had here and put the flyer on them, taped the flyer to it, and set them on both sides of the white square container that you see out here. And so those 3, when I say that all the cans are full at the library, that's 3 cans full plus everything outside the cans.
Overflow, yeah.
Do you have any idea how well the plastics are being, following the rules, getting the right plastics in?
Tina's she keeps an eye out, like I helped a guy one day that, apparently his daughter, I mean, he told me this, that she's somewhat of a hoarder, and they were cleaning out her basement, and he came with all this plastic, and it was a variety of things. And I was helping him unload his truck, and there was some things in there that I saw that wouldn't be, including there was like the packaging, shipping envelopes that were paper, not the like plastic Amazon ones. It's like, we can't take these. And he was very nice about it, and so we sent him home with some stuff, or back.
Yeah, because it takes a little bit of concentration, I find
Yeah.
anyway, it takes a little bit of concentration, you know, what you're putting in there and what you're not putting in there.
Yeah. And so Tina does keep an eye out for that. Now, she's not, if a big trash bag comes in, she's not gonna go through the middle of it, but if she sees something on the outside, she'll discard it within reason, so.
Thank you.
Now, let's see. Park master plan, update.
Oh, yes, so, RFQs were returned. We had 8 firms return RFQs, so that's a very good selection of firms. So we have a small committee, selection committee, I should say, formed. It's Darren Lamb, city administrator, the mayor, Sal, who just is wrapping up his economic plan, me, Sparky, and then our council liaison, Jeff Packey, possibly Al Bear. I'm not sure exactly where we're at with that. I don't know if Jeff talked to you about that or not, but, and so don't be offended. Don't worry, there's plenty of time to be involved. This is just selecting whatever firm we're gonna go with. And we have a meeting, coming up,
22nd.
yeah, next week, where we're gonna meet, and hopefully everyone's looking at all those proposals, and then the committee will select a firm, and then I'll take that firm, we'll work with that firm to get a firm price, and then we would take that firm to council for approval, and then we start the process and get everyone involved, you know, all the groups and things like that, you all, so.
Estimated time to begin?
I want to take the contract to the council on the March 18th meeting. So I don't know how soon after, whatever firm is selected, how soon after that. But I'd like to, I don't know if it's going to be possible. The goal is, my goal, and Darren agreed with it, we'd like to have it wrapped up by the end of the year. So,
It's gonna be a quick turn,
yeah, I know, especially,
especially with 8 of them, but
yeah,
hopefully you can narrow it down quick.
yeah. So that's that.
New business, park rental fees.
Yes, so today I sent out attachment, an email with some fees. I thought, I mentioned this before in a past meeting, I thought there was gonna be quite a few fees we were gonna have to raise, but really we're, wound up lowering some of the deposit fees on some of these buildings. But in front of you, we have 3 new fees that are not in the current code. So pickleball fees, which we never had before, which would be essentially the same as a tennis court rental fee. Then the pavilion down on the riverfront, I attached the picture here on the back of your sheet. I think that's gonna be a highly sought out, well, it is now, but I think families may wanna rent that for a birthday party or something, so they could go to the playground. So we wanted to try that out and see if we could rent that pavilion out. I wanted to do it last year as soon as the playground was open, but then I went down there, like on a Friday, a nice Friday during the summer, and there was, even on a Friday, there was several boat trailers already in the parking lot. And I thought that could be a problem where if you had say you want to have a birthday party on Saturday afternoon at noon, that boat trailer parking lot's full. There's nowhere else for you to park if you're carrying in a birthday cake. I mean, not anywhere close anyways, with that gravel lot being closed. But with us paving that gravel lot now this spring, won't be too far to walk across the grass there to bring your birthday cake or whatever over there and get to that pavilion. So long story short, there should be plenty of parking here shortly. So we wanted to try renting that one out. And then we've had a few recent requests on renting just the motorsports area, like for a big, like one company wanted to do some training with some, like staff training with some trucks, big trucks and things like that. I don't remember exactly what kind of training, but it was a local company around here. But the only fee we really had that included that area was renting the entire fairgrounds for $3,000, and they didn't want to do that. And so my proposal was to try this fee where you could just rent the arena, the building if you needed it. So this could work. We haven't had any since I've been here. But like if someone wanted to do a demolition derby thing again, we could use it for that. Or some other kind of training, like truck training or something like that. So the fairgrounds fee for the full fairgrounds is $3,000 with $1,000 deposit, I think is what it was, if I remember correctly. And so this would be a little less than that. Get some bathrooms with it, the lights, the building, things like that. And then if they wanted to do, like, say they did a demo derby, you'd likely have a cleanup day, like the next day afterwards, or you'd have to pick up metal and try to get the track back in order and stuff like that. And so that's what the additional day fee is.
Are you,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna add, this is similar to that one then, where that guy, didn't he have it for 3 days?
He did the monster truck thing was
Yeah.
right after we raised the fees,
Right.
or readjusted the fees, I should say, when I first started 5 years ago. And he rented the entire fairgrounds, which he needed to,
Okay,
because it's such a big event, and because he needed the parking and everything. And someone, if they did a demolition derby, they would need probably parking, like rent a grass area. And so we have a fee now. You may recall a couple of years ago, it's called the green space / parking lot fee, and it's $250 with a $100 deposit. So you could, like, we had sometimes there's weddings at the pavilion down in the riverfront, and they kind of just take over the whole area down there, including the parking lot. And I was down there on a weekend, I was doing community cleanup, and they happened to have a wedding down there, and they were trying to close off the boat trailer parking lot for their wedding. And so now with that parking lot fee, we weren't able to rent out also, like, the Main and Elm lot next to the farmer's market never had a fee. And some people want to rent that lot with the pavilion. And so now we have this fee that kind of covers random parking lots and green spaces. So if you had like a wedding in a park, even out the lake or something like that, where you kind of overspill out of the pavilion, we could rent this green space to you. So they would, if they had a demo derby and they thought they're going to have quite a few people there, they might need to rent like the green space in front of the main stage area, which would be an additional $250. Or any other area we designate for that.
you mentioned, somebody using that area for a training space. Are you heavy on amenities for something like that? The announcers building and
Yeah,
lights and,
It's included with the,
but that's what I mean.
we have separate fees for those also, but I included it with this, just like as a package deal.
Okay. I'm just thinking, you know, if somebody wanted to rent that, you know, just the arena, it'd probably be too complicated to have a lower fee without all the amenities, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to cover as many without having a fee for, you know, all kinds of different scenarios, and trying to cover
Okay,
demo derbies, trainings, you know, those
Okay.
types of things. So there, I mean, there might be a case where you, if you wanted to do like that truck training, you're not gonna use the lights or the bathrooms, but you might still pay the $1,500 to
Okay.
do it, because you don't have anywhere else to do it, that type of thing.
gotcha. Just thought I'd ask.
I, for one, think these look good. I was reading them this afternoon and looked over and tried to compare it to some other ones. I think they look very good.
We tried to do compare the fairgrounds, motorsports, that's a pretty niche thing, like you can find some, like there's a lot of county fairs, but there's not much information online, and then it's usually private organizations that are volunteers that like take care of those places, and they're not good about answering phones and things like that. So we tried to do some research, but we didn't have much luck on, you know, like just motorsports or dirt track arenas and things like that. And then like some places are just, whatever the fee is, depending on what the event is, they just make up, you know, they just, well, whoever, you know, it might be if you're a good old boy, you know, you're my friend or whatever, well, the fee's gonna be this type of thing.
So do you need any kind of
Yeah, a recommendation from y'all would be
Recommendation from us?
good, because I'll have to write another letter, and this will have to go to council to
okay,
get their recommendation, so then it can go into the city code.
okay.
I'll make a recommendation then, or I'll make a motion, excuse me, that we, recommend these fees as written, in the presentation.
I'll second.
Well, I have a motion by Gavin, second by Kevin.
Yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Very good, thank you. Arbor Day? Earth Day?
Still working, I thought I'd have more information on that, I'm running a little behind, but, Dave Waymeyer, I'm working with Dave Waymeyer and Josh, our, arborist horticulturist, on a nice plan, and we got some legwork to do with the trees and things like that, but, I think I mentioned it in the past meetings, where we'd like to do we'll have an event down at the farmer's market like we did last year. We give away saplings and seed and things like that, but want to do like a calorie pear tree, Bradford pear tree buyback program type of thing, where a citizen, we're still working out the details. There's programs like this all over the state now. They're catching on. Different municipalities do it, where if a resident removes a pear tree, an invasive Bradford pear from their yard, they could bring us a picture or somehow prove to us that they removed this tree, and then we would give them a new tree, a young tree, to replace it with. And so we're working out the details on that. The good thing is, I think I may have mentioned in this meeting a long time ago, our previous finance director this spring came to me and said, do you know that Parks has $4,600 in an account earmarked for trees? I said, no, I had no idea. No one's ever mentioned this to me. And come to find out, we did a little legwork, and Casey kind of remembered a little bit of this, but when Bernie Hillerman passed away, I think they took a collection at the funeral, you know, when you make a donation at the funeral home, and the Hillerman family had all the money come to the Parks Department for trees. And then I think it got forgotten about. And so I found out about it recently, and so I talked with Tree Board, and I talked with Washington Bloom, and everyone seemed, and former Mayor Sandy Lucy was gonna talk to Sandy Hillerman about it also, but everyone seemed to think that Bernie would like this idea of one, educating people on trees, about invasive trees, and using some of that money to purchase the trees that we're gonna give to a resident to replace the
He would.
pear tree with.
Not sweet gums, are they?
No, no,
No,
no sweet gum.
we would work with a reputable, you know, like a Forest Keeling or even the Conservation Department or Forest Relief on getting like native trees to replace them with.
Good idea.
So we're working on that. It's a lot of
Great
details. But we'll have a flyer out soon.
And last thing on new business, pool management operations, RFP.
RFQs or RFPs, I should say, are due tomorrow. And so I had a couple out-of-town companies reach out to me, like out-of-state, not even out-of-town, out-of-state companies, which I had a feeling we would when we post that stuff on our city website. Some of those groups get notification on that. I know our current our most current contractor will be bidding on it, submitting a proposal. So more to come on that, probably next meeting.
Very good. Okay, next meeting on March the 13th. Anybody have any questions, comments?
On the thing out at the lake, do we have any,
The fountain?
yeah,
Yeah, it's being repaired. They found out what was wrong with it. It was, some wire inside of it didn't have enough insulation on it. And so, I think I told you guys last time, it's not warranted. The company, the manufacturer's not doing anything for us. So we have it at the pump shop, which has been our middleman between us and the manufacturer for the last several years. They got it all apart, found out what was wrong with it. We're waiting to hear back on a cost to get it fixed, but we'll get it fixed and get it back in there. We don't know why there wasn't enough.
a lot of people keep asking me about it. I said, well, I'll
Yeah.
try to find out.
I know Chad made a call this week to the company, the pump company in St. Louis, but never got a call back yet on, like, we're just wanting an estimate on possible price, what it's gonna cost to get it repaired. So it's not gonna be cheap, but we'll get it figured out and get it back in there, so.
Sounds good.
I know that when the lake flew over, all the geese came to our lake because it wasn't frozen over behind our
There are
house.
a few people talking about the ducks and geese at the lake and the lack of open water. When you walk around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working, had conversation again this week, well, last week, I guess it was, with the Conservation Department on the CAP agreement that I keep talking about, that they got a new person now, and he promises me it's pushing forward. But he mentioned, I forgot, because this is drug on so long, the old person, which was the temp person, went out in July, and the new person started in maybe August or whatever. When July, I asked the temp person about geese management. Well, I forgot about that. When the new person started, I forwarded my last email from the intern person to him and said, kind of, this is the history, just read all the chain emails, blah, blah, of what I've supplied information-wise to you all about our lake and management of the lake. And then he responded about the agreement and getting it to Jeff City and all that stuff, and then a whole bunch of stuff about geese. And I was like, well, geez, are they not wanting to do this agreement now because we have, all the geese out there? And so I called him. I was like, hey, what's the deal with the geese? And he's like, well, you probably don't remember because it's drug out. So in July, you asked Justin, the last guy, about geese management, and he goes, I was providing you with some information on geese management. I was like, oh, okay. I thought you were insinuating that we had a major problem or something like that, and that it might affect the agreement. And he's like, no. So that topic has come up though, and I think we have plenty of geese. I would like to discourage some of them to go somewhere else, like to Sparky's.
Yeah, there.
But
So-
we will get the fountain back in soon and go from there.
Okay, I have a motion for adjournment. Oh, one more.
On the West Trail, is that open now?
Not yet. It will be, well, I take that back. I was down there yesterday. We talked to the guys. They had today and maybe a half day tomorrow, which is Thursday, yeah. Probably a half day, this was as yesterday, end of the day yesterday. They had all of today and then maybe a half day Thursday to place the rock.
Mm-hmm.
They, I think, ordered too much rock. And so, but then they gotta get then what they know is kind of, I'm talking to the worker bees here, but last they had heard, they were supposed to take all the rock that they put down on the trail because they put like a big base down on top of the asphalt to hopefully not destroy it. But if it does get destroyed, they'll replace it. But they're supposed to take all that off and with one truck haul it to gas, so they're doing some project on the Gasconade, and I think it's like 2 hours from here. They're supposed to take all that rock off the trail, and haul it to Gasconade with one truck, just running one truck, and that's gonna take forever. So I don't know how long, once they're actually done placing the rock, yeah, how long it's gonna take them to get all the rock off the trail and then get out of it, get out of there. But we'll get it open as soon as we can, but there's a lot of rock they put on there, a lot of rock. It looks a lot different down there now. It should really keep things.
Speaking of trail, what's the latest on the trees on the east trail?
Well, January 30th come and gone, and our lawyer was thinking that he wouldn't hear a response. I'm assuming, because I didn't hear anything, that he did not hear a response. And so I am assuming, without asking, I'm only assuming this, that things will keep dragging out.
Okay, all right.
I saw on Facebook, I don't know if anybody is watching this, but your pool passes are still on sale for like $85 for how much longer? Okay, well, maybe we could ask the newspaper just to put a little blurb in there to push people, because people might, then they'll say, oh, I didn't know, or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's a good deal. So for $85, they can get 20 passes to the pool, so we should try to remind the public. Thanks.
Good point.
Thank you, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments? A motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Gavin made the motion and Bob second. All in favor?
Aye.
See you next month.
Someone's got to eat all this chocolate.
There's chocolate here for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Oh, I gave
Betty said
chocolate
she
up for
reminded
Lent.
you.
Compliments of
Yeah, so
Betty.
did